Hello, hello, hello. Just like that, we are back with the Got Value podcast. This new series that we are going to be doing is called Intrinsic Magic. And I know sometimes people are like, but if I'm magic, they don't think I'm real. But here's the thing, your value is what makes you magical. The things that you do that are intrinsic to exactly who you are, that is your magic. And there are way too many of us that are super unclear as to how we show up magically in the world. So, for this particular series, we are going to be celebrating the power within high impact creatives, executives, and change makers. And we are bringing you along with us because not only are we going to find out how they show up magically in the world, but they're going to give you some good old tips that you can use to help show up magically yourself. So, without further ado, I am super excited to invite our guests for the day. Y'all, get your pen and paper handy because you are going to need it. You don't want to miss out, okay? But here's the thing. I need you to make me a promise. If you hear something that is just a good old nugget, something that you can use or that you know that a good friend of yours needs to use as well, don't be stingy. I need you to go ahead and share that magic with them because it is only lonely at the top if we take no one with us, and we are bringing along the folks, okay? All right. So I have here with me today Peter Moore. He is an account executive, a fellow creative. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Excellent, excellent. So I told y'all already for this series, this is all about the magic that we all have. And so we are starting off this conversation, as we will do every single conversation, with asking the question, how do you show up magically in the world? I first want to know personally, we can get to the professional piece, but I just first want to know, how do you show up magically in the world in your personal life?
Yeah, I feel like my answers might be a little repetitive, but I'll try to, parse them out. But I feel like showing up magically in the world for me is understanding that I'm the only person who can be me. So I have to wake up true to myself and being authentic to myself every day. So
Yeah.
whether that is like sticking true to my values or like if that's just me pushing myself to learn something that, I've never done before to experience something new, but making sure that I do that true to me and not through the
Yeah.
lens or perspective of someone else.
Ooh, and that can be so tough too because you have all of these outside noises coming in, and it can get real easy to kind of get distracted and you forget, okay, what's my voice, what's their voice versus, the other people's voice, like what is that? So then would you say that you bring that same thing professionally then as well?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of the same thing. It's interesting because I just started a new position and I just moved from Tennessee and now I'm in New York. And I feel like here, like everybody has a presentation of like being put together and you almost kind of fall into this imposter syndrome. But like realizing like, okay, I'm here because like of what I offer, what I bring to the table. And so if I don't come as myself, then I'm not only shortchanging myself, but the people around me as well.
Oh, you know what is so I too moved from a smaller town and moved to New York. I'm not gonna tell you how many years ago, but just know it was quite a while ago. Okay.
Mhm.
I look young, but it don't crack if you drink your water and mind your
Right,
business.
right, right.
But when I first moved to New York, I had that same thing because I was originally from a small town. We didn't care about dressing, we just, whatever we were comfortable in is how we showed up. And then I get to New York and I was like, whoa, whoa, y'all show up dressed everywhere y'all go? Like y'all always
Everywhere.
look good?
Yeah. Going to the laundromat dressed up. Like, what's going on?
I mean, dressed. Like, oh, so you want to go meet, somebody's son or daughter. Okay, I love that for you.
Right.
But it was definitely when I first moved to New York, there was definitely a lot of like, can I do this? Is it possible for me? But that whole, like you were saying, tapping into know who you are, what you do, know my skills, my talents got me to this place. And so as I continue to grow, I'll be able to keep growing in whatever place, in whatever soil I'm planted in. So then the thing too that a lot of people have difficulty kind of figuring out is how did you even discover your magic or what that was? Like, how did you discover it? What was that process for you?
I feel like it's a process that keeps processing. Like, I don't really feel like anybody will ever be able to pin it, and if they can pin it, they're
Mhm.
probably gonna wake up in 2 years and be like, "That's what I thought," but it's not that. I feel like
Mm,
discovering what your magic is also understanding what it's not. Because you see a lot of people in lanes that they don't really fit, and so you're wondering
mhm.
why, like, "Oh, this isn't working out," or "I'm not, like, in the circles or in the vein that I feel like I should be in," and it's because you haven't, like, dwindled or kind of, like, retracted what is not you or, like, what's not authentic to you. So I feel like how I was saying before, just, like, leaning into things that you haven't done before or that you haven't
Mhm.
experienced before, like, understanding who you are and who you are not is, like, is equally as important.
Ooh, that is so good, especially the who you are not piece. For a lot of people too, like you ask them, well, what do you want? Or I know for many women, well, what do you want to eat? And it's like, well, I don't know. But I always like to tell people, well, if you start with what you don't want, then it makes it so much easier for you to, like
Mhm,
you said, dwindle it down to figure out, okay, well, what do I want? I know I
mhm,
don't want this. So if I
mhm.
can put enough of the things I don't want out there, then I can get down to the okay, this isn't it, but this is feeling more like, it is it. So that is a really, I love that way that that's a powerful suggestion as to, hey, this is how you can discover your own magic.
Yeah,
But then, too, once you discover, okay, knowledge is only power if you do something with it. But once you discover it, what does protecting that magic look like, especially during the pivots, the transitions, the shifts, and even the storms? Like I know you were saying you just moved, and Lord knows moving is a traumatic experience for many of us. But how do you protect that magic as you're met with like those outside forces?
I think it's just controlling, like, I don't wanna say ear gates, that sounds, like, so weird, but, like, controlling what you're hearing, controlling, like, what you're consuming,
Mm.
being very mindful of, like, the voices that you're allowing to speak into certain situations. Like how you were even saying, like, moving can be traumatic, like, not everybody came a part of that process to me moving and getting a new job, you know? And so, like, being able to kind of filter out, like, who are the voices that I need to keep me true to me? And then, like, what are
Mhm.
the voices that are, like, influencing me or guiding me in a direction that, like, I'm even unsure of or that doesn't feel right for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, no, it makes perfect sense. I always call it, I like to call it sharpshooting, where in order to be a sharpshooter, you have to focus. You
Mhm.
can't have everything in your ear. You can't have everybody weighing in on your decision or your choices because then you shift focus. And then when it's time to shoot, if your focus is shifted, you're not going to hit no target. Like there's
Yeah.
no targets that you are going to hit because your focus shifted. So I love that. Like everybody doesn't get to be a part of the transition or of the shift and of the move. It doesn't mean you hate them, doesn't mean you don't
Yeah.
like them. It just means you have to protect your vision, your magic. Ooh, I love that. So then now when it comes to that protection, I truly believe, and some people do believe, they're self-made. I personally believe that no man is an island and people were literally put here to help us to grow, to push, to expand. And so when it comes to magnifying your magic, whether it's been a mentor or a sponsor or an advocate, if you had to name the folks who were most pivotal in helping you to magnify what your magic has been, who would you say those folks have been for you?
I feel like starting out, but on in the foundation, it has to be my parents just because and I feel like, a lot of people in our circles can relate, but, like, my parents are always like, "You, 1, don't have anything to prove to anybody." Like, I feel like that's just, like, a good, like, baseline for dealing with other people and, like, growing up is,
Yeah.
like, understanding you don't have to prove yourself to people and, like, I feel like a lot of the like my parents made sure that I grew up with a like healthy self-esteem about myself. And so I feel like it
Yeah.
always starts at home. And then like leaving that, I'd have to say like my old manager, Kevin, in my previous job, his name was Kevin Wozniak. He was my director. He I've never had someone that like wasn't blood or wasn't like a friend advocate for
Mhm.
me in the way that he did, which like subconsciously makes you feel like that you add value to the space or add value to the room, and that like there's a level of importance that like you have for your team in like collaborative
Mhm.
settings, just the way that he, poured in, like made sure I was cool, like, but also wanted to see me grow, like as like in my career field. Like even when I had to break the news that, I was parting ways and I had this new adventure, this new opportunity in New York, like he was fully
Yeah.
supportive, and like I still talk to him today. And so I'd have to give it to my parents and Kevin. They held it down.
Well, shout out to your parents and Kevin. I really do believe that some folks aren't aware of just how much impact they're having literally by being themselves too. Like the fact that you not only can recall, like, no, Kevin did some things that I had never imagined, especially because we weren't blood related, we weren't friends. It was He didn't have to do that. Making sure that us as people, as we are pulling ourselves up, it is okay to reach back to help somebody, to say, hey, I know you thinking you
Mhm.
want to do this, but trust me, shift this, do that way. It changes the game. It really does help those who are coming behind or even on the side of us to see, like, yo, well, if you can do it, I can too. And so then now, as we are closing out, because I told y'all always, if you've ever listened to any podcast I've done, we're here for a good time, not a long time. We want to get the goods and going on about our business, okay? But what advice then would you give to others who are trying to figure out, how do I show up in the world? What is special about me? How can I make impact too? And what's my magic? What advice would you give for others who are searching to try and figure theirs out?
Yeah, I would definitely say like if there's anything that interests you at all, like pursue it. And if you don't like it, then like at least you know now that you don't like it. Like, and that could be as simple as like taking a trip or like expanding your social circles to like meet other people that may share a same like niche hobby as you. But just kind of like getting out of your comfort zone. I feel like you stagnate when like you're around the same
Mhm.
people all the time, and you're in the same circles, you're in the same place that you've always been, and you don't kind of like stretch yourself to get out of that norm. So I would definitely say like try new things and like make sure you're constantly I guess experiencing new experiences, if that's even a correct way to say that.
Yeah, like, because that's what it is. Like, okay, or maybe trying new experiences. Because
Hmm.
people get so afraid to fail. And I firmly believe that failure is merely greatness in its infancy. And how will you know that you don't like it or you're not good at it if you don't try? Just try
Exactly.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, put some stuff on a piece of paper, put it in a little, clear glass bottle, or even in just a regular cup. Pull it out and, like, okay, this month I'm gonna try this.
Hmm.
I feel like we owe it to ourselves to try something new, to try something different, and to figure out, okay, who are we at our core? How do we show up magically in the world? And then how can the magic that we have be used to help others? So
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much, Peter, for joining me. I do not take it lightly that anyone would give me a piece of their time just to help me learn more about them and about the magic that they are literally sharing with the world. So thank you so, so much. If you would like, we would love to stay connected with you. So where can we find you? Where can we stay connected and learn more?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Lorenzo, Larenzo underscore underscore. And then my LinkedIn is just my name, Peter Moore. So if anybody wants to connect, just hit me up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so, so much, Peter. We look forward to staying connected. And for all of those who are still trying to figure out, I want you to know without a doubt, you have magic. Every breath that you breathe in and every breath that you push out is literally proof that you still have so much more to give to this world. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Got Value podcast. Remember, there is true value in purpose, and the greatest discovery of your life will be exactly what yours is. Stay connected with us at gotvaluenation.com.